Today, I want to build an absolutely massive villager trading hall. But before we do that, I need to get an elytra, because walking through the jungle, it's not convenient, and flying overhead would make things so much easier. So let's head to the nether, get some blaze rods, get some ender pearls, and take out that dragon. Can you give me some ender pearls, please? Thank you. Oh my gosh, that is big. Boom, that's what I want. Got him! Got him! Elytra! Well, this certainly isn't working. Anyways, I think it's fairly obvious from that last little bit that the Ender Dragon's been slain, and we did it in hardcore. Now, the next thing we need to do is step out here and talk about what we're going to do. Out in this direction, I want to mow down a bunch of these trees and then erect a new giant tree where we'll build our villager trading hall around it. Let's get to it. But before we get too carried away, I wanted to reveal to everyone the name of our axolotl, Thunder. Abdelmajid Idkuram. Please tell me if I mispronounced your name. I am really trying hard to get it right. He gave us this name in a comment on my 100 days video, and I just want to say thank you so much for that. And now, henceforth, our axolotl will be named Thunder. Yep, this looks good. Definitely enough space down there for a giant, massive tree, at least I hope. Let's head down there, and let's work on some terraforming now, because this is not conducive to a tree. Well, while it's not perfect, it'll do. I think it's time to start planning the tree and exactly how it's going to look. I have to make a confession. I really am not good with building non-geometric shapes. So everything we're doing here, it's going to look kind of funky, and it may not be perfect when we're done, but it's the process, right? It's not the actual end goal, right? Right? So what I'm thinking here is we have the cross that kind of indicates where we're going to go with it. And then we come out on each side of the points and create some sort of circle that we'll start working with. So yeah, that's pretty much a perfect circle, but I think this is going to work the way we need it to. We'll funky it up as we go, I guess. So I think now we work on the roots and where we want them to go. And I think it'd be best to line up with the center of the edge here, the corner of the circle, if that's actually a thing, and have about 8 roots coming off the thing in each direction. We may trim some off and we may work on some of the others, but I think it's going to look out pretty good. Okay, so it looks a bit like a breakdancing spider, but we're working on it. We're working on it. Just stick with me and something will happen. I know the next thing that we ought to do is work on the shape down here at the bottom. The roots are a little spindly, so that's a big issue here with how it looks. But if we work a little bit in and sort of trace our lines back up with a little bit of variation, we can thicken the roots out and then eventually have the roots meet somewhere in the middle to give a bit of a tree look. That's the goal, at least. Like I said, I'm not the best at these kinds of things, but you know, I think it's coming along kind of nicely. I mean, sure, we've got gaping holes in the back, but I mean, look at these roots. They look kind of chonky, but I mean, what kind of tree doesn't have chonk for roots? Hey, I mean, I get it. It's okay. It's coming along, but I need more jungle wood. We gotta go chop some trees. And well, I got enough of the wood to be able to finish out the base, and I can't say I'm too sure of what's going on with this, but you know, tree roots do their own thing, right? Let's give a little tour around the thing. We've got some tree roots coming in here. We got the big old, I don't know what that, something big there. And we got a few tiny ones here, kind of wonky looking. We got this one here, which the intention is to make it look like it's going in underground a little bit. So it like comes back up over here. And you've got the other ones just kind of filling in the space around here as well. And I'm actually quite pleased with how this stump turned out. It has turned out much better than the previous stump that I made, which we won't talk about. Now, the next part we're gonna have to do is if we come up here, we'll have to carry, oh, no. No. First try. We'll have to carry the trunk up a few blocks. So we'll carry this out around the area, come up a few blocks with it, and then begin our tree branches. Well, that being said, I need to spend a bit more time mining, chopping, whatever it is that you do to trees. Okay, so I'll admit the branches look a little weird, but I think they're coming along all right. It's time to gather some more wood and work on the branches some more. We'll see how this turns out. Okay, so yeah, it looks kind of funky. It looks kind of funky, but I think with all the additions I want to add to it, it may turn out looking really, really good. So let's add some leaves? Yeah. Okay, let me preface this by saying organics and trees and things are not my strong suit in Minecraft. But let me tell you guys, this is actually, I'm impressed with myself for this one. Now, I know there's a few things that could be improved about it, but for the most part, this is really cool. Hey, mister, you got my scaffolding. Did you drop it? Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, yeah, I'm going to add some light and stuff like that, maybe a few other details, but I am excited about how this build turned out. We got the roots there, we got some branches hanging out there, a few gaps, but I feel like that's normal for a tree. And it blows me away, guys. It blows me away. I mean, look how big this is. So the next thing is we need to dig a hole inside the tree and start building our villager trading hall. Now, my plan is to use the inside and the outside of the tree in order to build this thing. So what we may do here is create a doorway right about here and create a walkway that goes around the branches all the way up to the top, circling around, and occasionally we'll have parts where we will break out and have like another path on the outside, or just a bit of building on the outside where we'll have our villagers waiting to trade us their wonderful goodies. To make this work, we're going to need to have a pathway that goes from the very bottom all the way up to the top. And I think that's going to work just fine. Now that we've got the path in place, it's going to take some time to figure out exactly where the villagers are going to go. I think I've got a few slots here along the path as we go up, and we've got some spots up here that should work for villagers, but I also want to create a landing platform for my elytra. So I need to investigate exactly where on the tree that's going to be best, because I don't always want to come in from the bottom or even use a bridge coming over from my base. And I think this will work. Oh, not nice. I think this will work nicely. Now we need to do something about that floor and about where we're going to put our villagers. Yeah, I think this looks a lot better. Ignore the dirt. Now it's just figuring out where the villagers are going to go. I think a few spots like around here is going to be good, as well as up on the roof throughout here. And I think I want to dig out a few spots along the tree to put villagers. Now follow me into my office. Come around here through the bamboo door. Isn't this thing great? I mean, it looks so nice. I'm really excited for the full release of 1.20. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Now, as we go in here, you'll see not a whole lot has changed down here. In fact, we just have a crafting table there. But as you walk up, you'll start to notice a few things that are a little bit different. We've got our blacksmiths of varying types. Next, we have our farmers, which some of them trade us terrible things and others trade us wonderful things. Following that, we've got some cartographers. They'll be trading us some better things in the future. And here at the top, we have some stonemasons, which we've got a few spots left that we can fill in up here, but I ran out of time on the stream that I was doing this on. Now you're probably wondering where my librarians are, and that is over here in our shaman hut. Got ourselves a few of our librarians in here, trading us things like Unbreaking 3, Feather Falling 1, and Mending. In the coming episodes, we'll probably finish filling this area out and changing it into a library of sorts, maybe even adding a few levels. Let me know what you guys think of this video down in the comments below, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys!